NBA trainer in the absolute business would like to train Caitlin Clark.
The shockwaves didn't come from the commercial itself. They came from Stephen A. Smith saying out loud what many people inside basketball have been whispering for months. Caitlin Clark's Nike deal isn't just big, it's disruptive. And once Stephen A. connected all the dots on national television, there was no way to unsee what this moment really represents for the WNBA. It started with a Christmas Day commercial that felt oddly familiar to anyone who understands Nike history. The timing wasn't accidental. 40 years earlier, Nike used that exact window to introduce Michael Jordan to the world as more than a basketball player. When Nike chose Christmas Day for Caitlin Clark's From Anywhere campaign, they weren't just launching an ad. They were drawing a direct parallel. Stephen A. caught it immediately. Nike does not do nostalgia by accident. When they mirror history, it's because they believe they've found the next anomaly. But what truly stunned people wasn't the date. It was who was in the commercial and who wasn't.
Trainer Chris Brinkley has broken his silence about Caitlin Clark and potentially working with
no WNBA legends, no league royalty. Instead, Clark stood alongside Travis Scott, Jason Kelce, Travis Kelce, and major pop culture figures who have nothing to do with women's basketball. That decision was surgical. Nike wasn't marketing to WNBA fans. They were marketing to the entire culture. Stephen A. called it exactly what it was. A declaration that Caitlin Clark no longer needs validation from the league she plays in. That's where things get uncomfortable. According to Stephen A., the reported $28 million deal over 8 years barely scratches the surface of what's really happening. Industry projections now suggest Clark's signature shoe line alone could generate $150 million within its first 3 years. One product line. One athlete. A number so large it dwarfs the combined payrolls of multiple WNBA teams. This isn't a gap. It's an economic earthquake. Stephen A. didn't hesitate to explain what that kind of money does inside a competitive locker room. Human nature doesn't survive that imbalance. When one player is making more from sneakers than others will make in their entire careers.
I didn't mention it in my cold open, but I'm going to mention it now, and that's Caitlin.
Resentment isn't optional. It's inevitable. And Stephen A. made it clear that what fans saw last season, the hard fouls, the freezing out, the tension, was just the beginning. This Nike deal poured gasoline on a fire that was already burning. From Nike's perspective, the move is brutally logical. They are not a charity. They are a data-driven corporation. They saw the ratings spike every time Clark played. They saw ticket sales explode. They saw jersey numbers breaking records. While the WNBA tried to spread attention evenly and maintain internal harmony, Nike chose dominance. One star, one face, one bet. Stephen A. has been hammering the league for this from day one. He believes the WNBA tried to suppress Clark's stardom to avoid jealousy and preserve balance. And in doing so, they fumbled the biggest opportunity in league history. Nike didn't care about balance. They cared about impact. And now the contrast is impossible to ignore. Nike treats Clark like a global icon.
I think people just take it like we hate each other, like me and Caitlin Clark don't hate each other.
The league treats her like someone who needs to wait her turn. That tension explains almost every controversy that followed her rookie season. Stephen A. tied it all together. The physical targeting. The rivalries. The Olympic roster snub that left the most marketable athlete in women's basketball at home. According to him, none of it was random. It was the establishment trying to humble someone who refused to fit neatly into the system. And now look where that strategy landed them. The same player deemed not ready for Olympic inclusion is anchoring a Nike campaign larger than most international basketball marketing combined. Stephen A. called the hypocrisy out in real time. The gatekeepers tried to remind her she wasn't above the league. Instead, she outgrew it. The shoe itself tells the rest of the story. The Caitlin ones aren't scheduled for a typical rollout. They're coming in spring 2026 with inventory levels reportedly 5 times larger than previous WNBA signature launches. Analysts aren't comparing this to standard women's basketball releases. They're comparing it to the original Air Jordan era. Lines. Resale markets. Lifestyle adoption. This isn't just a performance shoe. It's a cultural product.
In my opinion, this was one of the craziest things that we saw from
Even the branding signals separation. The interlocking CC logo isn't tied to the Indiana Fever or the WNBA. It stands alone. Just like the Jumpman eventually did. Nike wants consumers to think Caitlin, not team, not league. That distinction changes the power dynamic entirely. Stephen A. didn't sugarcoat it. The league needs her more than she needs the league. That reality becomes even more complicated when race enters the conversation, something Stephen A. refuses to avoid. A white player from Iowa becoming the financial engine of a predominantly black league carries unavoidable tension. The Nike deal amplifies it. Some see privilege. Others see performance. Stephen A.'s stance is blunt. Business follows demand. Clark puts people in seats. Clark moves merchandise. Clark drives ratings. And those numbers raise the ceiling for everyone else whether they like it or not. Charter flights. Better facilities. Higher salary caps. None of that happens without money. Stephen A.'s frustration isn't with players feeling resentment. It's with players allowing resentment to blind them to opportunity. Fighting the tide doesn't stop it. Just leaves you behind. Nike's inclusion of the Kelsey brothers and Travis Scott was the final signal. Clark isn't a niche athlete. She's being positioned as a Sunday night football-level star. A crossover figure who reaches fans who have never watched a single WNBA quarter. That kind of appeal creates protection. If opponents play dirty, the backlash won't stay within basketball circles. It will spill into mainstream culture. Stephen A. also hinted at what comes next. Once hundreds of millions of dollars are attached to a player, leagues tend to protect their investment. Whistles get tighter. Officiating changes. Superstars get superstar treatment. And if that happens, the resentment Stephen A. warned about will explode. Nike's patience tells you how calculated this all was. They let the narratives develop. They let the tension build. They let villains emerge organically. And now they're ready to monetize every second of it. The league provided the drama. Nike provided the climax. Stephen A. compared the moment to Jordan in the NBA and Tiger Woods in golf. The anomaly always disrupts the establishment. The establishment always resists. And eventually, the anomaly wins. Nike has chosen its side. The uncomfortable truth Stephen A. confirmed is simple. Caitlin Clark's Nike deal isn't just big. It's league-breaking. The money, the marketing, the bypassing of WNBA validation all point to the same conclusion. She outgrew the league faster than anyone expected, and the league wasn't prepared for it. Now the question turns to you. Is Stephen A. right that jealousy is inevitable at this level of money and attention? Or is this just the growing pains of a league finally breaking into the mainstream? Drop your thoughts below. Hit like if this breakdown helped connect the dots.